Before we get into our last set of RE regular verbs, I wanted to do a review of the other regular verbs that we have already done. So our first set is going to be the regular ER verbs, like, for example, parler. As a reminder, what you need to do here is you need to take off the ending, the ER, and then add your endings to conjugate this correctly. For je, your ending is E. For tu, your ending is ES. For il, elle, or on, your ending is E. For nous, your ending is O and S. For vous, your ending is EZ. And for il or elle plural, your ending is ENT. So what happens is when you take the root form of the verb, after you've taken off the ER, you'll just take that and you'll add it to the beginning here and add those endings for the appropriate subject to get your full conjugation. So now we have je parle, tu parles, il parle, nous parlons, vous parlez, il parle. And as a reminder in terms of pronunciation, everything here inside of the boot will sound the same. Moving on, our next set of regular verbs is our IR verbs, like finir. You'll take off, once again, the last two letters, the IR, and you will add IS, IS, IT, ISSONS, ISSEZ, and ISSENT. Once again, when you take that root without the ending and you add that on, then you get your full correct conjugations here. So, je finis, tu finis, il finit. Nous finissons, vous finissez, ils finissent. In terms of pronunciation, your first column will sound the same, fini, fini, fini. On the second column, your ISS, you'll actually say those very clearly. And in this case of ending with the ISS, ENT, remember that your ENT is silent, so you will not hear that. Okay, so our last set of regular verbs, and this is the new information for today, are verbs that end in an RE. So we've had ER, IR, and now RE. You'll take off the ending here. You'll take off the RE, like vendre here. Take off the RE. Vendre means to sell, think vendor. And you'll add S, nothing. ONS, easy, ENT. The root here, you'll take that and use that with your endings. And now you have je vends, tu vends, il vend. Nous vendons, vous vendez, ils vendent. So everything in the first column will sound the same. Notice that the consonant in general is going to be silent, vend, vend, vend. Whereas in the last column, the second column, the nous, vous, and il, plural, you will hear that D because these endings right here are not silent. So verbs that are done like vendre and other REs would be like attendre, to wait. It has in parentheses for here because let's say that you're waiting for the bus, you don't have to add anything on. So if I'm just saying I'm waiting, I would say j'attends. If I'm saying I'm waiting for the bus, I don't add any word that means for, it's already within it. J'attends le bus, the bus. Descendre means to go down or to get off, as in to get off of the metro or the train or a plane, etc. It can also mean to go south. Entendre means to hear. It is not the same as écouter. Écouter, we've done before. Écouter means to listen. That's an active action, whereas entendre, to hear, is a bit more passive. Entendre. Perdre, to lose or to waste. Perdre. Rendre, to give back or to return. This is also the verb that we'll use in order to hand in like a paper or homework or something. Rendre. Rendre visite à. literally to render a visit to someone. So this here is important, especially since it can also turn into O or O with an X, for example, when you're adding it with a article. Notice also that it is only used for visiting someone. Visiter is used for places. Okay? So rendre visite à plus people. Répondre à, to answer. So if you want to just say I'm responding, je réponds, and you end your sentence there. But if you need to say you're responding to a person or to the phone, then that's when you add your form of à. So je réponds au professeur, for example. Okay. They give you a couple of examples here. Elle attend le dessert. She's waiting for dessert. She's waiting for dessert. Nous descendons de l'autobus. We're getting off of the bus. Le commerçant rend la monnaie à la cliente. So rend means to give. And rendre la monnaie is specific for giving change. Je réponds à sa question. I'm answering his or her question. So what I'd like you to do is take a moment to just memorize your RE endings and how to conjugate them. And then we're going to do these two exercises down here. Exercise A. Ah bon? Le samedi, on fait ce qu'on n'a pas le temps de faire pendant la semaine. Tristan est très occupé et il n'est pas le seul. Suivez le modèle et faites attention aux adjectifs possessifs. What you're given here is you're given an infinitive verb with other parts to the sentence that you'll have to work in. And this thing, which is in parentheses, is going to become essentially your subject. So, that's what we're going to do. So here we have number 1, for example. Rendre ses livres à la bibliothèque. So you're using nous as the subject. And watch out, like it says here, watch out for possessive adjectives. And when you do nous and you conjugate rendre for it, you're also going to have to watch out for that possessive adjective. So I'll do number 1 with you first. I'll do it over here. So I'm going to put nous. Rendre is my verb. I'm going to take off my RE and add my ending. Nous rendons. And then it's possessive adjective. My c'est will now become nos livres à la bibliothèque. Okay? So I've basically just conjugated it and filled out the rest of my sentences. What I'd like you to do is pause the video, do 2 through 6 by yourself, and then come back and I will give you the answers. Okay, hopefully you've had time to try and do this exercise. Let's do number 2 together with mon frère and attendre. So here we go. Mon frère is my subject. Attendre, I'm going to take off the RE and I'm going to add the ending. In this case, that's like il singular, so my ending is nothing. Remember, SS nothing. Attends le bus pour aller faire des courses. So most of that was just copy-pasting after I conjugated the verb. Mon frère attend le bus pour aller faire des courses. My brother is waiting for the bus in order to go and do the errands. Numéro 3. Vous with descendre. Vous. My verb descendre, I'll take off the RE. I'll use my root. Add easy for my ending. Vous descendez au sous-sol. You're going down into the basement. Numéro 4. The idea of toi with perdre. So the idea of toi here is tu. Perdre, you take off the RE. Conjugate my verb with an S for my ending. Trop de temps, too much time. À lire ses mails. À lire. And then the C will become tes mails because we're using tu here, right? You waste too much time reading your emails. Numéro 5. Mes copains and entendre. Mes copains. Entendre, I'll take off the R-E. Add my ending. Mes copains is like il plural, so add ENT. Mes copains entendent, and I will say the D. Mes copains entendent à la radio une publicité pour un concert. Oops. They're listening to the radio. They're listening specifically to an advertisement for a concert on the radio. Finalement, we have the idea of moi and répondre. Numéro 6. Moi is like je. Répondre, I'll take off the R-E and add my ending. Réponds with an S. À beaucoup de coups de téléphone. I respond to a lot of telephone calls. Des coups de téléphone, telephone calls. Okay, continuing on to our last exercise for today. Exercice B. Un week-end à Paris. Complétez l'histoire avec les verbes à droite. So it's not actually to the right. Our verbs here are right here. We need to know what these mean and put them in the right places. Notice that we have 6 verbs and 6 blanks. So you use each one of them once, put them in the right place, and conjugate. Go ahead and pause the video, try your best, and when you come back, I'll do the answers with you. Okay, let's try this together. Alain et Marie-Lise habitent à Bruxelles. Aujourd'hui, ils blank à Paris en train. So going through the meanings of each of these verbs, would it be possible that they're waiting in Paris by train? No, so attendre won't work. Is it possible that they are going down to Paris by train? Yes, and in this case, this is perfect because Brussels is north of Paris, so they're going south. So I'm going to use descendre. I'll take off my R-E and add my ending here. So now I have descend, ending is ENT, descendent à Paris en train. Numéro 2. Ils vont blank visite à leur cousine Pauline. And this is a great clue. We have visite plus à and a person. So we're going to be using rendre here. Take off my R-E. Add my ending for il. Oh, let's look at this. This is my subject. I have something here first. This is a first verb. We know that if I have one verb, then my second one shouldn't be conjugated. So if you tried to do this one, I get what you're trying to do. That's on the right track, but you have to watch out for this other situation where your second verb is being put in. You need to make sure that you're using an infinitive. So I'm actually not even going to conjugate it. Ils vont rendre visite à leur cousine Pauline. That makes it into your futur proche. Les 3 cousins ont toujours beaucoup de projets et ils ne blanquent pas une minute quand ils sont ensemble. All right, what makes sense here? They don't wait for a minute when they're together. They don't hear a minute when they're together. They don't lose or waste a minute, or they don't respond a minute. Probably to lose or to waste. So take off ER. My subject is les 3 cousins, which is like il plural. So therefore, perdent pas une minute. Alain et Marie-Lise aiment beaucoup Pauline parce qu'elle blank toujours à leur mail. What does she do to their emails? She probably responds. Take off RE, add my ending. In this case, elle doesn't have an ending. There's no additional thing there. So elle répond toujours à leur mail. Pauline aime aussi ses cousins et elle blank leur arrivée avec impatience. Does she hear their arrival or does she wait for their arrival with impatience? Probably attendre. take off RE, add ending. In this case, my ending is nothing, so elle attend leur arrivée. Elle blanque enfin la sonnette. Sonnette is a doorbell, so she hears the doorbell. So take off RE, entend, add my ending. In this case, because I've done elle, I don't have an ending. So elle entend enfin la sonnette.